I wanted to ask you because I'm at this point now of trying to find, and we talked about this in our sports episode, the motivation to get, and this is, I don't know how to do this. So, any of you expert dads out there, male, female, gay, straight, if you have a better idea that will help me, how to motivate them to want to eat better, want to move, want to exercise, um, because it's just not their interest, and it's not something I want to force them to do. I'm very much like that with some things in life. I try to lay it out. Political views, religion, uh, musical taste. I try not to force feed those type of concepts. You just try to lay out what's important. But if I'm not doing it, how am I supposed to motivate them? You may come to that same situation. Right now, fitness and nutrition's not even in her mind yet.
No,
It's play.
It's not in my mind. I just wanted to eat, and that's it. It don't matter what, just eat and finish it, which is probably a bad foundation for future. But she's 5. We'll go to that, I'm sure.
It's so easy when they're active and entertained by everything. The idea of having your child at that age or younger, where they're just constant, nonstop motors until they finally just pass out. I mean, how many times have you found your child playing, laughing, giggling, maybe crying, and then next thing you know, they're curled up in their toys, passed out asleep. It's that type of energy is so easy, but when other things start taking priority, it's so easy to make excuses.
Yeah.
Which I have a litany of excuses for my 220 odd pounds right now.
Yeah, I don't. It is difficult. I mean, to find as I said in the beginning, I'm not. I can't exercise. I can't. That's not my motivation. So I'm guessing. I was even brought up as a child who played outside. Like I played outside my whole life. I play video games, but I like playing outside, playing sports, playing whatever every day.
And I think most people in our general demographic did.
Yeah, probably. We enjoyed both worlds. And I would, even now, I would like sit and play video. I could play video games all day long, but if there's a soccer game I can play, I'll just go play that. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna just stay in. It's like not like I'm a lazy fat ass. It's just I don't like basic running, exercise, gym. Like I just can't do that. So I'm motivating the kids at this day and age. I literally I don't envy any of you who have the kids in that age. Really.
I think you have to kind of, if I can suggest, when you started thinking about eating vegetarian and managing your calories, they're not necessarily combined.
Yeah.
They can be mutually exclusive. But you found something that made you commit to each one of those things. It's the same type of thing for me. I don't want to run, right? I have chronic plantar fasciitis and chronic bursitis in my hip, obviously exacerbated by running. But it's out of all the cardio, it's what I enjoy the most. And I was doing a 5K every morning, because it was what I needed to do to get where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
You needed to hit that 1,900 calories or less to get where you were going. Now, there were days, I'm sure, not to speak for you, but I'm sure there were days where you just wanted to eat a slice of cake.
Oh, yeah.
And you didn't care. I don't care that I'm going to go, over my calories 1,000.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's the same thing. I didn't want to wake up. And, of course, this is past me when I was doing it religiously. Didn't want to wake up. There were times where I would hit the first kilometer and go, F it. When I get to the second kilometer, I'm done. Or I'm doing curls and I just don't.
It doesn't feel like it.
But I go, stop and just do one more set. And I had those little type of conversations with myself. I always told my wife it would be hysterical for her if she were able to hear my thoughts while I exercise. Because it's a mixture of me bitching and complaining and yelling at myself. Because I know I need to get somewhere. And I know the elliptical is my demon. I hate the elliptical. I don't know what it is, why it's different than running, but I hate it. it's just facing it and just trying to go a little bit more than you did before. Work it till you're perfect. What we've been saying with this. It might just be that, yeah, you curse yourself and you curse me for telling you to do it, but, do that mile and go, ugh, hate this. I'm not doing this tomorrow. And then don't do it tomorrow. Do something else. Do, some push-ups and sit-ups, and then do another mile. But then what I found myself doing is kind of calling myself out and go, you did a mile, you can do one more block. You can do 5 more minutes. You can do 2 more reps. And just that kind of incremental thing, which I'm sure is similar. I know from doing it myself, it's similar with eating. That in the beginning, you kind of just go over your calorie total a little bit. Then you go, all right, well, that's because I had the 2 slices of cheese, which is 200 calories. I won't have the cheese. And then you'll have that day where you go, oh, I got to 18. All right. See if I can do 1750 tomorrow. 17. It's really no different. It's not that you enjoy it necessarily, and there are people that enjoy it. And God, I envy you.
Mm.
And he doesn't even know who you people are because he can't even think about it. But I motivated myself that same way, and I tend to talk to myself negatively in those situations, like, "Come on, you're being weak, and you can do better than this." But that was how I got myself to that point. Now, I know I've said that's what I did, and that's not what I've done now, and we'll get into reasons why. But I know that kind of path works. And I'm certainly, we say this a million times, we should just leave it as a scroll when we figure out how to put a scroll on the bottom, that we're not experts. I just know that's what worked for me. And that type of motivation I found very kind of satisfying because what I would do is, one of the apps will keep track of what I ran, how quickly I
Just
ran.
compete with yourself.
The time where I realized, push-ups when you're my age have a bad shoulder too. Yes, I'm falling apart.
I'm not doing push-ups.
But the time that I realized I doubled what I did when I started was like,
Yeah, I mean, what I don't understand about myself, and it's probably I just probably don't want to do it at this point, but it is, I feel good after doing it. Like I feel like I tried running. This is why I know I don't like it. Tried multiple times, and
because running is not exercise; it's a mean of getting away from something.
exactly. And I tried, and I like when it's in increments. Like I'm around a little bit more now, right? And it gets better and gets better, and it feels good. I just don't want to do it, and I don't like. If I can play basketball, I'll do that for 3 hours. But I can't make myself go running, and I'm stopped making excuses. Like, oh, it's weather's like that, where it's like I have to treadmill in the house, so I don't really need, but it doesn't matter. So, but it's better to be outside, run outside, which is true because like at least enjoyable more than being stuck in my bedroom. I live in a beautiful neighborhood. I can run it. Like it's just this. I just had no excuses. Like I just
His
don't.
neighbor has a bike and an elliptical.
Yes, yes. So no excuses. I just don't want it. I'm sure that if the shot comes to push, I will do it, and probably, and I should probably getting. I had some mild heart issues that I ended up in the hospital, and the doctor. It's like everything's fine, so that nothing's wrong with your heart. But the doctor said like, oh, so you're 40? I was like, yeah. It's like, you gotta start taking care of yourself because just another friend of mine who is I think he's a couple of years older than you. He told me when you hit 40, everything goes downhill. And oh my God, like I was the healthy guy, and I started back issues, heart issues. Now I'm wearing glasses, and now I have to worry about like everything just downhill. And I know it ain't gonna get better. It's gonna miraculously be like juvenile, but I like rejuvenated. Sorry, but it's like I just have to probably force myself, and I'll blame my wife for not motivating me enough or somebody. But I'll try. Eventually I'll do it. I just want to find the way that makes me enjoy it more. And competing with myself is one thing, and I like that because I'm competitive by nature. Um, that's probably why I would prefer playing like soccer game or a basketball game because it gives me a goal or something. I'm just like I'm gonna run.
Which I can hear them screaming. Well, then go join a soccer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, we can talk about the, one of the episodes of how the lifestyles today affect our um, lifestyle choices, maybe. Um,
And excuses.
and excuses, yeah. So I wanted to and you and I talked a couple months ago that I wanted to like buy two little goals and see how many neighbors do we have to play a little soccer like every now and then. So that would probably be something that I would rather do than like run or
Lift weights.
lift. Oh yeah, I've never done that. I've never done it in my life. Like maybe when I was 18 years old, I wanted to impress a girl or something. But like I no, like there's no, like that's not my thing. Like I'm not even gonna pretend that I'm gonna do that. But I do enjoy physical activity, and that's why I feel like an idiot for not doing it more because I like it. It's not like I don't like it, and I circle back to that example. I want to be that example that I'm that guy who enjoys outdoors, enjoys sports, enjoys physical activity, walks, runs. I want my daughter to see that as a normal thing. Whether she chooses to do it or not, whatever her choices are. But I want her to have that, not like, oh, this is her dad sitting playing video games or watching TV or
Right.
well, I don't watch TV anymore. But like anything that is that I'm doing right now and just eating candy and crap. So I would like to, this is like a video diary sort of. Like it's good to make commitments of sorts. I know we are in a COVID situation right now, and probably not advisable to spend time with very various groups of people
At a gym.
at a gym or even playing soccer outside or something. So I don't know. Hopefully by summer this will be easier, and then we can maybe have a neighborhood league and we can play. There's probably a lot of like a lazy fat ass guys in the neighborhood that play some sports. I'm
Well, we
sure
also have a pretty high population of Latin Americans.
they will play.
Yeah, they'll definitely
They'll play. So that would be my motivation really. Maybe if there's a basketball court around, I would probably do that. I have two basketballs that I just bought one like I don't know 6 months ago. But
just because.
because I went a couple of times. I have another friend that likes to play basketball. And we went a couple of times, and man, I enjoyed it. I haven't played it in 10 years, and I felt like I don't know how I felt. It was terrible. It was just I had a better image in my head of how I'm gonna handle it than what the reality was. So we were just gonna play until 11, one-on-one. Like, oh, I can do that. Like at 3 points, I was done. I can't move. I can't jump. It was there. So, but I enjoyed it. Like we played for a couple of hours, and I was exhausted. But like I would do that every day, but not run.
Well, I think what we're doing right here is letting you guys know that everybody's having this kind of trouble. Some of you are doing a great job being disciplined with it, but we struggle. But to get a little bit more somber is for me and what I've been disappointed with and what I need to focus on. There's a responsibility that comes with being the dad, and you've heard me say the dad is not just male parent, but that person that's responsible for others. And I know the lifestyle that I fell into was not being healthy. And what we don't realize long term is some of those don't seem so bad lifestyle choices actually wind up being the ones that get you in the end. Maybe it's sweets, and I'm not saying this is his case at all, but somebody could just be like, yeah, I have a bowl of ice cream every day. And then when they turn 50, now they have type 2 diabetes. And that's something they have to manage and worry about. So that's something that I need to keep at the front of my mind. It's something that, as the elder of the two, I'll make my own joke this time, to encourage you to try to find that thing. Me, I can do it. because of the path that I've laid out in front of me, and I'm sure others are like this. I know I need, so I know what I need to start doing. You kind of know you need, but I'm telling you, looking over that 50 line more than you are, um, it's a lot more concerning to me right now.
It is, and I know I'm making light of it, and it's like really not. Like I understand, like it's we're living in an environment that is, even though I think eating pretty healthy, minus today, but I'm eating pretty healthy. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't like it's like I feel like my body is not in a terrible shape when it comes to like from inside, from outside is needs work. But from inside I don't feel like it's bad. The only thing is like you age, and with age your health deteriorates. And that's just science. Like it's not like like it's, and if you want to maintain it, you gotta maintain it. Like it's not gonna maintain itself.
You can't buy a 57 Chevy and expect that, well, it was taken care of for all this time, it'll run great tomorrow.
Exactly. So I fully understand that. I probably have a couple more years before I started getting that red alarm sound that I might. So it's probably better sooner than later. So I want to commit this year really to some sport, something. I need to, and this is probably the challenge of a lot of a lot of dads out there, and moms and everybody really, the lifestyle and the work-life balance, and trying to fit what we need opposed to what we want to provide. I think that's a biggest struggle, and I talked about it briefly over dinner. I get up at 6:30, take my daughter to school. I'm back home at 7. Um, I spend a little bit of time with her. She goes to bed at 8. I take a shower, go to bed. I'm not running or playing soccer, nothing. There's no way. That's like 5 days a week like that. And then comes weekend, man, I don't want to do anything. Like I don't want to do anything. Like I just wanna, like sometimes, like I just feel like I need a moment for myself. In order to be able to do that for myself, I will need a moment for myself. And right now, the lifestyle is not there, so I have to probably make it work somehow. I have to make it work.
Sacrifice. I mean, to use this, and it's calling you
So
out.
sacrificing my daughter and wife, or
no, your own sleep, maybe.
Oh, sure. I don't know.
But that's we sacrifice our time because we're really excited about the idea of Dad's A to Z.
Yeah.
Right. So we're taking the time to record. We're taking the time to learn audio and video editing.
Because we're gonna have to edit all those sounds that you hear. We're gonna have to.
The ladies and my kids talking over pizza, watching the Super Bowl. We're making that sacrifice because we believe in what the end product is. You just got to do the same thing with yourself. And so that's why tomorrow morning.
Why do you have to make sense now?
That's my goal. Let me see.
I hate it. Like now you make sense, and I have nothing to say about it.
I have to reset my alarm because I had it for 9, although my wife got me up at 8:30. 4:30.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. No.
I don't have to do that. I start working at 7:30, so I can't wait.
I hate it. You make sense, and I hate it. I have no response to it that is gonna.
It's the only thing that you can do.
It is, yeah.
If it's something you need to get to, if it's making sure the microphones are in the right place, we tinker. You do something different. You try to find some different way, and it doesn't need to be an hour. It doesn't need to be 2 hours. 20 minutes. 20 minutes of good, getting that heart rate up, just for a little bit. It might just be dribbling the soccer ball.
Maybe,
yeah. So we're talking a lot, and just to pose it to you guys, what do you guys do to kind of get the proper nutrition, eating right, moving your bodies, not falling into the American fat lazy American stereotype? What do you do? How do you do it?
Do you include your kids with it?
I've worked out with Jake, but he can only wake up he wakes up at 5:30. We start exercising at 5:30. He can only do it for maybe a week or two, and then he's a teenager and he needs to sleep.
Well, let us know what you think about it, and if you have any ideas for me how to motivate myself, let me know. Adam made a lot of sense, so I have no excuses. But if there's any ideas how to motivate myself or yourself, will work with you. While you're commenting, click subscribe and like.
Like it. Make sure you tell some friends. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram,
And Twitter.
and maybe someday down the road website. Thank you very much for your time. I'm Adam.
I'm Z, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.